difficulties. And welcome to the Midnight Creepout. I am your host and creep mistress, Jessica Bryant, and with me, as always, is my friend and yours, Benjamin Scuria.
Oh, hello, my creepy friends. So nice to see you this evening.
What's up, creeps?
What if we just talk like this the whole show?
Maybe we will.
Maybe. Probably not.
The only person who would like it is MLab, and she is the only one in the chat so far. So you know what? I'm down.
The show's for you.
It's for you, MLab. It's all for you. Yay! You can't.
Well,
guess.
maybe we will.
Will. Sam Squamch. That's right. Booth Wellington. Benjamin. Benjamin. I'm very excited for this episode.
You are hyped. Yeah.
I am so excited for this episode because we're doing two things that are really cool. One, for the abolish the Senate.
Hey, abolish the Senate. You did it.
I love it. So I almost said, "Hey, Stream Elements." So for the very
say hi to
first
the
time,
bot. Nobody says hi to the bot. Yeah.
Hey, bot, how's it going? Remember those chat bots in the early 2000s that you would chat with online?
Mm-hmm.
That was so weird. So yes, so for the very first time in the Midnight Creepout, we have a special guest. How exciting!
I'm so psyched. Not just because of who it is. It's somebody who I enjoy thoroughly, but just having a guest. That's like some next level stuff right there.
I know. We're like a real show now. And so the other reason I'm very excited is because tonight we are finally delving into my favorite cryptid ever. It's probably that's not true. Aliens is number one for like my favorite spooky thing. Bigfoot is number two. So yeah, that's right. We're doing Bigfoot. Abolish the Senate says I'm sitting down with a cozy tea for a cozy creep.
Yeah.
I love it. And this one's not too creepy. So without further ado, well, yeah.
Yeah, so we bring in our special guest.
Wait, hold on. I wrote a thing. Okay. So tonight we're delving into a very exciting topic, which just so happens to be my favorite cryptid, Bigfoot. And there is only one person I know who might know more about the search for Bigfoot than me, and that's Bryce Read. Bring him out.
Welcome Bryce Read to the show. Hey, Bryce.
Hey, there you are.
Oh, hello, everybody. I heard we were talking like this.
Indeed, we are, friend.
That's true. That's true. Bryce, I'm so excited that you wore your...
Oh, Bryce is in some sort of time loop.
Oh, no. Bryce, your connection isn't amazing. Oh, no!
There's a delay here. There's a delay.
It's pretty bad. Oh. I hope I can contribute in a satisfying way.
Bigfoot got him!
Oh, God.
Oh, God, he knew! Bryce, he knew!
It's getting better as it goes, actually.
Yeah, it is better now. So, hey, Bryce, thanks for joining us. How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. I'm suffering through a cold, but I had to just come here and talk about Bigfoot with you guys. It's one of my favorite topics.
Absolutely. I feel like I'm talking with someone who's like on the ground in Kandahar. Bryce, tell me what you're seeing on the ground. Is Bigfoot carrying its child up the tree or down?
Then we all have to wait for the satellite feed to go through?
Yeah, you can wait.
Okay, yep.
Tell you what, here's an idea. I'm going to try to leave and I'm going to come back. But if I don't come back, have to go.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Good luck, bud.
All right, he's going to leave and come back. Okay.
And then if he doesn't come back, I don't know. I don't know what that was, but we'll see.
That's okay. Well, hopefully he does get to come back because I'm pretty sure I think like Bryce might be the reason that I actually got into Bigfoot in the first place. Because when
Really?
we were in college together and we dated for a while, I remember he was like big into it. We actually we were in an improv troupe called Grandma's Third Leg in college, and I think together we wrote a sketch.
That's such a college improv
I
name.
know, right? I know. Together we wrote a sketch where I played a female Sasquatch who he like found in the woods and he like adopted or like brought into his home, like Harry and the Hendersons, but she really wanted to have a baby with him, and he was like, absolutely not. Good premise. I don't remember the execution. Okay, so
I'd have sex with a Sasquatch, I think.
yeah, absolutely.
Like, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't, not to derail the show, just was thinking, like, not only for scientific reasons, because, like, what would that be like? But, like, you know?
I guess. Well, the thing is, though, that they are reportedly they smell terrible. So who knows?
I mean, maybe we'd bathe each other first. Really get into it. Like some scented candles.
Benjamin.
Make it a thing.
Goodness. Fucking yikes. Okay, so throw my PowerPoint up there. As usual, I've got a PowerPoint to show. Okay, so
this is me, by the way. I know very like we usually do this before we go. I know very little about Bigfoot. I mean, I of course know Bigfoot, but it's such a sort of thing that lives in pop culture. I too have seen Harry and the Hendersons. I've seen all the movies, right? Yeah, I'd like to believe. We were talking about this the other day. I don't know. I was talking with somebody about it the other day, and saying it makes sense to me. Like that, there's so much. People are like, one of the big things that people say about Bigfoot. They're like, oh, there could never be a Bigfoot because people would have seen them by now. Like we've gone everywhere, and I'm like, in some ways, yes, but there's also so much like rugged backcountry left in the U.S. And other places, but like just even in the U.S., even in parts of the Appalachia, but certainly in parts of like Washington and where it's just like people don't go there, and if they do go there, they go there, and they're very loud getting there, and they're not there very long.
Right. Exactly.
So it makes perfect sense to me that it could happen. I really want it to be true, and I'm very excited to learn more about it.
Yeah, I think people have not a great understanding of like what the dense woods are like in like Oregon and Washington. It's dense. It's like dense as shit.
Yeah, like, I mean, even in parts of Maine, it's like fucking crazy. It's like, yeah.
Like, don't go up there if you don't know what you're doing because no one will ever see you again. Like, you need to understand how to navigate with like a compass and a map. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, you will be lost within an instant of stepping off the trail.
Yeah,
it's like
you're gonna be Okay. So, Bigfoot is probably the most well-known cryptid in North America, right? Giant ape men have been sighted worldwide and for hundreds of years. The earliest depiction that we know of Bigfoot, or I guess, you know, a giant hairy ape person, is actually, they were painted, petroglyphs painted in California sometime between 500 and 1,000 years ago. So this is supposed to depict, I can't really see it. It was a very small image and I blew it up, so it's not great. But it's supposed to depict, you can see one here, right? This big shape with the big arms.
Oh, yeah.
Two scary eyes, right? This is supposed to depict
Yeah, Kittempa says, does Bigfoot equal a dinosaur?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a two-legged dinosaur with arms.
Yes. It's a two-legged dinosaur.
But it kind of looks like it has claws, right? Or like,
yeah, right? Scary. So I guess it's supposed to be a family. Anyway, so most cultures around the world have some sort of big, hairy, human-like creature in their folk history. And this looks like a drawing by my nephew, Kit. Oh my God. So obviously, everyone's sort of like Sasquatch, Yeti, wild man. I had to throw in this wild man in there. Skunk ape, which is this guy right
Yeah,
here.
I love skunk ape.
Yeah, the Yeti, obviously. The Yowie in Australia. This is the Yowie. He's got a little wallaby in his hands. It's very sad. The Iroquois called it Genosqua, or stone giant. And the word Yeti is derived from Tibetan and roughly translates to mountain bear or rocky place bear. Bear of the rocky place.
Abolish the Senate it's pronounced, is it Yowie?
It's Yowie is Yowie. Yeah. Google it. You'll find it. Yeah, Yowie. That's the one. So just to kind of show you how pervasive this shit is, this is a map of Bigfoot sightings in the US and Canada from 1921 to 2013, compiled by Joshua Stevens from Documented Sightings aggregated by the Bigfoot Researchers Field Organization, or BFRO. So that's a lot, right? And obviously the biggest concentrations are up here in the Pacific Northwest,
Appalachia,
then,
Florida.
Yep, Appalachia and Florida. Those are the big ones. Appalachia.
Yep.
If you watch this show, that's a scary place. You don't want to go there. Goblins and aliens and
Mothman.
Oh my God, it's scary over there. Stay out. So this
Maine is dark. There are even some in Mass.
Right?
There is that. No, where does that go up to?
Yes, there are some in Massachusetts. This is Massachusetts right here.
Yeah.
So there's some in Massachusetts. Why not, right? So this map correlates. So you can see the line. These are the numbers of sightings over the years, right? Is this line, and then this is the population over that period of time. So it's it's saying that sightings correlate with the increase in population. And sure.
I was going to say there are two ways to look at that. One, right, more people, more sightings.
Right.
The other way to look at it is more people, more urban spread into areas that have not had people in them before,
right.
And more sightings.
Right. So I know that's what it's like saying Bigfoot or big population effect. Like, it makes sense to me, like exactly what you said, that if there's more population, we're going to see more of them, right? Like, I feel like that doesn't mean anything. I don't know. Anyway, here's another map. This is on ArcGIS. I believe this is very similar data, not quite the same, but again, you can see for some reason, Ohio. What is it about Eastern Ohio? This is something that I noticed. I don't know. I don't know what it is about this spot right here.
Like, my first thought is that they're swimming across the lake. No, I'm so serious. Because above it, look at this is all forest above it, above that lake. Yeah, above Lake Erie.
Right here? Oh
above
my
Lake
God.
Erie, that's all forest.
Nuh-uh.
No,
I don't think so. This is definitely city, because look at this. It bumps up there. This is all. It's not forest.
I don't know.
I don't agree with that.
All right, that's just a theory.
Yeah. And then right. You're right. Oh God, let's go back. The apparent decline after 2005. You're absolutely right. What's up with that?
That's strange. Look at that. That is strange.
Right?
Almost like an environmental thing.
Yeah. Oh no. Climate change. We're never going to discover Bigfoot because climate change is going to kill it before we get to find it.
Oh no.
Show's over. I'm leaving.
No. We just bummed out Jess.
Okay. So here's another one in ArcGIS. Again, like I said, similar. And then these light blue dots are sightings from this year, from 2021. So very exciting, very fun. Woo.
Oh, look at that. There was a Massachusetts one this year.
I know.
Isn't that Massachusetts up there? Or is that?
Oh wait,
like,
no.
what is
I think
this right there?
Maine.
Maine?
This is Massachusetts. I think this is Maine. So yeah, and this is probably Vermont-ish.
New Hampshire.
Right?
Yep.
Yep. Then, again, down here in Appalachia, not so much Ohio, but down here. And then obviously the PNW.
Kit, my initial thought where we would go in Mass to look for Bigfoot would be Western Mass, like in the mountain in the Catskills.
Yeah, definitely. Although I would venture a guess that that's probably a black bear is what you saw, but who knows?
Yes, probably.
Okay, so anyway, the point of showing you these maps is that it's pretty pervasive, right? Pervasive across the United States, but actually, the whole world, like I've mentioned. Here's another picture of Bigfoot. Just kidding. Okay, so the first, this is Eric Shipton.
Got him.
Okay, got him. So the first big moment in modern Bigfoot history was when British explorer Eric Earl Shipton and his crew were on an expedition to climb Mount Everest in 1951. I believe he did not summit the mountain that time because Edmund Hillary did it the next year. But he and his crew were hiking or climbing in the Menlung Basin at about 17,000 feet elevation when they came across a series of giant footprints in the snow measuring about 13 inches long. So here is a man. I don't know which man this is. And then you can see the trail of footprints go off in the distance. I believe they actually said that there were two sets of footprints. One that was more defined and then one that, wasn't as defined. So maybe it was lighter than the other one. Here is a footprint next to one of their boots. So this is a man's boots. He said
so. It's not necessarily longer, but man, is that wider?
Yeah. Yes. Very wide.
And only 3-toed?
4. I mean, sorry, 5.
4. Yeah,
1,
look at
2,
that. Oh, but like
Here's
a big
3,
space then between.
4,
yeah.
Right, and 5. And then obviously this is their climbing axe. Or pick, excuse me. So what the fuck? Now, the biggest explanation for these footprints by skeptics is that because these have been cited multiple times. Hillary saw them, right? Not Clinton, but Edmund Hillary, who was the first guy to summit Mount Everest. He saw them, right? Like a bunch of people saw footprints. A bunch of people have seen footprints like this. So the thing that people say is that it's like a snow leopard or something, and it's melted in the heat of the sun or something. First of all, you're trying to tell me it's 17,000 feet. And actually, the estimate was somewhere 17 to 19. So you're saying somewhere between 17 and 19,000 feet. I would too, kid.
Me too.
Yeah. That the sun is so hot that it's melting these footprints to the point where they look like this. And also, like, cat's paws do not look like this, right?
No,
First of all, they have 4 toes, not 5.
There's no pad. There's no space between the pad and the toes, which there always is on a cat's foot. Like,
no, definitely not. And, they could have made this themselves, but I don't think so. I feel like that's kind of crazy. You can even see like the indentation for the heel when your foot hits the ground, right? The heel of your foot hits first. So there's a deeper impression. And then where you take off from, by your toes, there's a deeper impression. So you can see that here, right? There's a deeper impression at the heel and then again at the ends of the toes. And then you can see that it kind of comes up more in the middle. So that's the kind of thing that's difficult to fake. You'd have to be like pretty intentional to be able to fake that. So especially in 1951, like no one knew about this stuff in 1951. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't. Why? Right? He's already getting famous for trying to climb Mount Everest.
I was gonna say, if anything, it would undershadow or overshadow the climbing of the mountain.
Right, or undermine him.
That's yeah.
Right? So, just a thought. Okay, so then in 1958, a logging company bulldozer operator named Jerry Crew, this is the man himself, discovered a set of large human-like footprints in the mud in the Six Rivers National Forest in California. They were 16 inches long. when Jerry told his coworkers, what's the next picture? I don't remember. When Jerry told his coworkers, they told him that they had also seen similar tracks and had stories of strange occurrences at job sites. The logging crew began using the term Bigfoot to refer to the creature who left the prints. At first, Jerry thought someone was playing a trick on him, but when more sets of footprints were found, someone contacted the Humboldt Times, and the name Bigfoot came into the national lexicon. So Jerry Crew is the guy who named Bigfoot.
Oh man,
isn't that fucking wild?
That is crazy. What a cool fucking like thing to have as your claim to fame.
I know, right? Yeah, pretty fucking cool. What else was I gonna say? I don't know. Oh, this is actually from 20 years after, so you can see he's aged quite a bit from here to here. But
yeah, where's this paper from?
Famous.
Abolish the Senate. Let's see, let me see what it says down there.
Yeah, it's the Escalon Times. So
my guess is this must have been when Jerry died. Maybe not. Maybe not.
It has been 20 years since Jerry Crew first saw the
20 years
tracks in the newly dozed ground of a logging road. I think it would say that he was dead.
So it was just a 20-year revisiting.
Right. So since that time, Crew, who now lives in Escalon, right? Yeah.
There it is.
There it is, baby.
He moved to Escalon.
All right. So from there, Bigfoot sightings began happening more frequently, or perhaps people were just more comfortable speaking up. Interesting. Then, in 1967, two men claimed to have caught on celluloid what still remains to this day the most definitive Bigfoot footage that exists. If you are a person who already knows about Bigfoot, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't, your life is about to change, my friend. Roger Patterson, look at this fucking cowboy, was a Bigfoot enthusiast and writer who began researching the creature in 1961. He traveled to Bluff Creek in Six Rivers National Forest, again, which is where Jerry Crew saw those, Patterson Gimlin. That's right, Brycey boy. So yeah, Six Rivers National Forest is also where Jerry Crew saw his footprints. So
in the same like place,
in the same national forest, in California.
Gotcha. Yep.
So he traveled there several times over the next few years, where he met other enthusiasts and saw several sets of footprints. In 1967, he invited his friend Bob Gimlin to accompany him on yet another trip. They rode on horseback into the deep forest of Bluff Creek, where sightings had recently been reported. Gimlin wasn't a believer, but decided to accompany his friend anyway. At about 1:40 p.m. on October 20th, they rounded the side of a large overturned tree when they saw it. A huge ape man, which actually some people think it was a girl, a female, 6 feet tall or more, covered in dark reddish brown hair, crouching by the creek. Roger dismounted and grabbed his camera from his saddlebag. He pulled it out and started filming, stumbling towards it, then steadying himself on a log. The almost minute-long footage is by far the best and most convincing piece of evidence there is for the existence of Bigfoot. So first, we are going to show you the original Patterson Gimlin footage. Now, here's the thing. Nobody fucking tell their like estate that we did this, because some of the shit that we're going to show you,
it's copywritten by them, but they're not going to be watching our show.
The Edmund Hillary photos that I showed too, they're like real.
We didn't show anything.
Shit. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what you're
we
talking
showed
about.
Nothing.
Exactly. So like, don't tell me.
All right. I'll put up the thing that's great.
Exactly. We'll put up the thing that's not the thing. So this is the original footage. You can see he's struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, FBI, open up. Listen, I definitely am on a list, but not for this. He finally manages to steady it eventually. Here we go. And there it goes.
It's very calm for being seen by a complete stranger.
But I feel like that's extremely common, you know? And apes don't tend to run away, you know?
Yeah, no, I guess. I think apes tend to sort of come at you, don't they?
Yeah, they tend to hold their ground or just kind of,
Yeah.
who knows, right?
Oh, man.
So, let's watch it again. Let's watch it one more time.
All right. So here, we don't see anything here, right? He's
right. So you can kind of see it actually in the middle of the screen.
Oh, yep.
Pointing, like,
Okay, that time.
finger.
Yep.
And then, you know, like I said, he's like fumbling around because he's
freaked out.
Trying to, yeah. Now, Gimlin, I believe, had continued to ride his horse across the creek, and then that's when he turns. The Bigfoot turns to look, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, Bosch essentially said, "What looks more human than simian is where the head stayed level," and I agree. And the head turn there was a very human head turn, sort of back over the shoulder to sort of see what was going on. But now Bigfoot could totally be some sort of. It's not necessarily a full ape, right? Isn't it a missing link? Is this a theory, right? That it could be.
That is a theory. Yes, that is a theory. Absolutely. Oh, Bryce is in the waiting room.
Yeah.
This is the perfect time. Bring Bryce back in.
Yeah.
Is it working now? Are we good?
Totally working.
Yes. Yes. Turns out that there's actually a manual little button on your computer that says on off for your camera. So
oh my God.
Yes.
It turns out it's very small. I didn't know it existed, but there you go.
There it is.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you figured it out. I'm so glad you're here. And we
yeah,
have 30 minutes to spare. I love it.
Oh man, getting to the good part. Have you guys heard of Bob Hieronymus?
Yes.
Are you going to get to him? I don't want to spoil it.
No, go ahead. So wait. Before we do that, Ben, show the next video because thankfully, because of, you know, the miracles of modern filmmaking, people have managed to enhance the video quite a bit and stabilize it so you get a better picture of what the creature looks like.
All right, here we go.
So pull that baby up. Oh, I think it started in the middle. There you go.
All right.
So there it goes. You get a much better view. Fucking wild. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I want to watch this a couple more times. Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, just let it play while we talk about it.
Yeah, keep talking. Yeah.
So Bryce, tell us about Hieronymus.
Okay, so Bob Hieronymus is a guy who's come out in more recent years and claims to be the guy in the monkey costume. He claims that he conspired with Patterson to trick Gimlin. So Gimlin believed it was real the whole time. But
Gimlin's the one filming?
And yeah, I think he was the one. Or no, Patterson's
the one filming.
But Gimlin was along. But Patterson, according to Bob Hieronymus, Patterson created the whole hoax and that he was the guy in the monkey suit and he was in on it. And one of the things that they always point to show that this footage is authentic is there's like a bulge in his thigh that's supposed to be like musculature. Mm-hmm. And Bob Hieronymus is like, that's my wallet in my pocket, bulging through the costume.
Bullshit. Okay, so here's the thing about Bob Hieronymus. If he was the only guy who ever came out and claimed that he was the guy in the monkey suit, I'd be like, okay, sure. But he's not.
No.
There have been several people over the years that have come forward and said that they're the guy in the monkey suit. So, like, no, I don't agree with that. I do not. I think that.
I mean, if I just would be hard pressed to think that they had that good of a monkey suit in 1967. Like that is a very realistic looking ape.
Yeah, it looks good. There's also a guy who claims to have sold them the monkey suit from like a costume store, and he said he told them to put shoulder pads on and put like sticks in his hands to make his arms longer. But again, everybody
his arms do the wavy thing.
Yeah,
they're not.
So, what you need to do, Bryce, I'm sure you've seen this multiple times, is Monster Hunter season 1, episode 5 is about Bigfoot, and they do a like broad spectrum analysis of this footage, and they have like an athlete from the local college like try and like, you know, mimic the walk, and they take a picture of each individual frame and like blow it up, and they're like, you know, they look for, you know, seams and zippers and that kind of thing, and they don't find anything, obviously. And they talk about how you can see its mouth open, and you can also see its fingers curl and uncurl. And I'm just saying, if it's a guy with like sticks in his hands,
it's very good. It's very good acting.
And also, doesn't this costume seem to appear to have breasts as well?
Yes.
Which...
Okay. So let's go back to the slideshow if we can.
Yep.
So you'll see here in this picture, yes, this is the you know, obviously
it's hot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Get it.
Yeah. Very hot,
baby.
Nice.
But it does. Yeah. So it's speculated that actually.
Bryce, before you were here earlier, we were talking about whether you would sleep with a Bigfoot if like if you bathed together and they didn't smell, like would you be in for interspecies canoodling? Yeah.
Hey man, at this point, you know, I'm gonna be 38. You know, I'm hurtling towards middle age. Let's do this thing.
Bryce, I told Ben in our audience about that sketch we did about that very subject.
Oh, that's right. You played Bigfoot, a female Bigfoot. Yeah.
She Squatch. Yeah. Very fun. But yes, so you can see when it turns to the side, you can almost see breasts.
Yeah.
What looks like breasts in the front. So I don't know.
Which
totally
with the costume in the 60s, like it'd be a strange choice, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
yeah, I'd like to. That looks real to me.
God, I want it to be real so bad.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah, Bryce, we didn't get to talk about it, but when you know you were having my Sasquatch teacher.
I love that so much.
Anyway, when you were having technical difficulties, but you know, why don't you tell us a little bit about your fascination with Bigfoot, how you got into being a Bigfoot fan in the first place?
Yeah, so I've always been kind of obsessed with like the paranormal and like cryptids and things like that. I did like a stand-up 10-minute presentation on Bigfoot in 6th grade with like peripherals and everything. So it started there. And then around college, I discovered BFRO.net, which I think you already mentioned, which is the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, run by Matt Moneymaker, star of TV's Finding Bigfoot. And I don't know if you still can do this, especially with COVID, but for a while, you could register to go on Bigfoot finding encounters with the BFRO on their website.
There's still some available for 2021.
God damn, I want to go. So I wanted to go so bad in college because I just fell down the rabbit hole, and so I left a message because I wanted to find more details, and I thought I'd get like an email a couple days later. But no, Matt Moneymaker himself, this is before he had the TV show, he calls me and he talks to me on the phone for an hour. I swear to God. And by the time we were done talking, I was 100% convinced Bigfoot was real. 100% convinced this guy had seen Bigfoot. He knew how to attract Bigfoot. He's like, now I want to prepare you because most people, when they see them, they go into shock. We're so used to being the apex apes. And when we see something that could just destroy us in a second, it just like messes with us mentally. So we go into a state of shock. So that was like one of the things I remember him saying.
Oh my God.
And he's like, Bryce, we're gonna get it. We just need a couple $100 more. Just
your parents. Well, here's the thing. I was like, why is this guy keeping me on the phone so long? And he kept being like, are you with that crew? Like, because I told him I was out of Salem. And he was like, oh yeah, that's that group that wants to do a documentary about us, right? And I kept having to tell him, no, I'm not. I don't know what that group is. I'm not with that group. He's like, oh, okay. And he kept like forgetting that I wasn't making a documentary. So I think that's why.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So I think he really was like, even then, like trying to like get his show going or.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, probably.
I mean, a guy with a name like Matt Moneymaker.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
He was just doing what his name told him to do.
Right.
It is the it's
That's why I read.
Yeah. That's why I'm Bryant.
Yeah.
Ben Scurry's.
Yeah, I do. I scurry a lot.
Okay. So, oh man, we're gonna go later than 1 o'clock. I hope everyone's okay with that. So while video footage obviously is by far the most sought after and convincing evidence, there are two other pieces of Bigfoot evidence that researchers and experts commonly cite. Yes, Jay Cash cashes things in. One of them is dermal ridges. Dermal ridges is the scientific term for the lines on your hands and feet that create fingerprints. There they are. Very exciting.
Yeah.
So some plaster casts of alleged Bigfoot prints have dermal ridges on them, even at the microscopic level. And like,
I just want to point out, I don't know what cast this that we're looking at here, but if it's not one of the ones that was from the Edmund Hillary footprint, that toe looks pretty much exactly the same, right? That like extended roundish toe.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Nice toe gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to keep that toe gap.
Got a toe gap. It's all it's all the rage.
Right. Listen, don't even bother getting on Tinder if you don't have a toe gap.
I put a spreader in every night before bed. I'm just hoping that...
I use grapes and then I just eat them in the morning.
My God. Oh my God. That's amazing. Okay. So Bryce, I'm sure you know Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum. Dr. Jeff Meldrum is a professor of anatomy and anthropology at Idaho State University. And he is a big name in the Bigfoot community. He studied bipedal locomotion in early humans and primates, and always had an interest in the idea of North American human-like hominids.
Also a big fan of the color gray.
That is true. It's true.
Monocoloring.
Oh, that's not him. In 1996, long after he was already a professor, he visited a Bigfoot investigator who showed him some casts and a trail of fresh prints. This is where I insert my joke. What do you call new Bigfoot prints in California?
What?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You're welcome. Over the years, Meldrum has examined dozens of Bigfoot print casts and says, quote, "Given the scientific evidence that I have examined, I'm convinced there's a creature out there that is yet to be identified." He has over 150 casts in his laboratory. He's appeared in many documentaries on the subject of Bigfoot and has gone on expeditions with the BFRO and other people to find evidence on the creature himself. So this is Jeff Meldrum. Very exciting.
That one does not have the toe gap as much, though. Look at that.
Yeah.
And that toe is much more straight up. That looks almost like a human foot to me.
Yeah, that's more achievable beauty standards.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and then there's this guy, Jimmy Chilcott.
He looks like an X-Files character.
Oh, Slashy's been doing stock photography.
He's a finger and footprint specialist who works with the I don't know how to pronounce this, Conroe Police Department in Texas, and has been examining Bigfoot casts since the late 90s. He has analyzed the casts, Jeff Meldrum has, and is also convinced Bigfoot is real. A 1987 print from Walla Walla, Washington was what turned him into a believer. He told National Geographic in 2003, quote, "The ridge flow pattern and the texture was completely different from anything I've ever seen. It certainly wasn't human and of no known primate that I've examined. The print ridges flowed lengthwise along the foot, unlike human prints, which flow across. The texture of the ridges was about twice the thickness of a human, which indicated that this animal has real thick skin." Chilcott also cites evidence of healed scars in the dermal ridges. So here's Jeff. No, that's not Jeff. Here's Jimmy. And then this is an example of like dermal ridges in a cast. So you can see them going across, and then here's some going up and down. And then I thought this was a picture of one with a scar, but I don't remember where it is anymore. It might be right here. I don't know. I'm not an expert. But anyway, this is what dermal ridges on a Bigfoot cast look like. Very exciting. Speaking of casts, Bryce, I'm sure you've heard of the Skookum cast.
Oh, I sure have.
What do you know? What do you know about this big old pile of mud?
Oh, well, this big old pile of mud is a piece of evidence that the aforementioned BFRO likes to trot out every now and then. But it's supposedly they put out a different baits that they thought a Bigfoot might like to eat around some muddy area. And then for some reason, the Bigfoot lied down on its side in the mud to reach for it. So this is supposed to be like the impression of a Bigfoot lying sort of down on its side.
Exactly.
Just what it looks like.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So you're right. In September of 2000, the BFRO sent an expedition to Gifford Pinchot National Forest in Washington State. There at the foot of Mount Adams, I think, in the Skookum Meadow, the members of the trip set a trap. They created a mud wallow, a shallow pit of mud that animals used to cool off, and next to it left out some fruit to lure the creature. Sure enough, when they checked it the next day, there was an impression of an animal. They poured 200 pounds of plaster into it to make a cast. And they did manage to get it out.
What?
I like where it says
Buttock.
So yes, they think it was lying this way, and then here's its elbow and its forearm, and its wrist and its hand.
What? Where's its head?
Its head is not on it. Now here we go. Here is an artist's rendition of what they think was happening. So the Bigfoot sat his ass down and then was leaning on this arm. So the orientation is off because it's flipped. So here's his butt, here's his thigh, and then here's his elbow. So he's leaning. Oh God! Oh my Lanto! What have I done? What have I done? Where are we? We're right here. Oh God! Oh God! No!
Oh no!
Everything's fine.
So there it is. There's the Skookum cast.
I can't believe I didn't see it before.
Yeah.
I know. So
keep in mind, this is one of the best pieces of evidence.
Oh no!
That Bigfoot exists.
Anyway, so yes, blah blah blah. So after the mud was removed from the cast, it was examined by physical anthropologist and author Dr. Grover Krantz, who's this guy, journalist and author John Green, not Hank's brother, and wildlife biologist and author Dr. John Bindernagel. According to the BFRO's website, these three concluded that, quote, the imprint was not attributable to any recognized animal species. And the BFRO website also states that, quote, hairs of various animals, including one unidentified primate, were extracted from this final layer of mud. So if that's true, that's pretty fucking crazy.
Hairs of animals?
Yes.
What do they mean?
Like animal hairs.
All right. Well, that's what Kit was talking about earlier. Let's DNA that stuff.
Well, exactly. That's abolish the Senate looked it up. Gorillas have that toe gap, so plausible divergence.
Yeah.
Watch ridges. DNA analyze those hairs. I don't know why I'm just seeing that one now. But they did. And some of the hairs were like elk hairs, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. But there was one unidentified primate. It was not a man or a chimpanzee. So, of course, hold on. Dr. Meldrum was there and directed the final cleaning of the cast. He told National Geographic, I think in 2003, he said it's 40 to 50% bigger than a normal human. The anatomy doesn't jive with any known animal. So I know, and then critics say that it's probably like an elk or something.
Critics say it's a giant puddle of mud.
Yeah.
Undistinguishable.
Right. I know.
But they said primate hair. That's interesting.
They did. That's the interesting part to me, because I honestly can't make anything of that. I mean, I understand it must be an animal. I see that.
Yeah.
something laid there, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Unless
the
like
video
a
is
baboon escaped from the zoo and then went running through the woods or something.
Maybe. Could be. Do I have anything else? No, that's it.
Oh.
So, oh God, I never saved it. Jesus Christ. Let me remove some of these. So let's get into some theories. Bryce, what do you make of all of this?
I have a couple different theories. One is that Bigfoot is actually Gigantopithecus, which is a giant bipedal ape, much like Bigfoot, that is actually on the fossil record. But they've never found a complete skeleton. They've only like pieced it together from like jaw bones and stuff like that. So one theory is that this species somehow survived and like co-evolved with us, and for some reason survived by avoiding us, like we were competitors with it, and maybe we outnumbered it and like knew how to take it out, and so it evolved by becoming extremely reclusive, and to this day like sees humans at like, even though they could totally destroy us because they're so huge, they avoid us at all costs, just as that's because their evolution tells them to do that. So that's like one theory. Another theory is the interdimensional beings.
Yes, I was hoping you'd get there.
So a lot of people and people will say the same thing about aliens and ghosts too, and different kinds of creatures.
Goblins.
The Kentucky Goblin and
Yep.
like phantom dogs and cats and werewolves and like any kind of cryptid you can think of. There's also this theory they're interdimensional creatures, and they come in and out of our reality, and that's why like it's hard to photograph them and why like you can't consistently find them and that sort of thing. My third theory is that Bigfoot represents us at our most primitive, right? Because it's big, it's hairy, it's a representation of us, and we project that. And aliens, like the gray-headed aliens with the giant brains and the tiny little mouths and big eyes, those are us at our most advanced. We're completely dependent on our technology. So these two archetypes kind of represent us and different, and when our mind wanders or we're trying to deal with different situations, these archetypes can kind of come up in our psyche. So those are a few different possibilities of what Bigfoot might be.
Ooh, I've never heard that third one before. Did you come up with that yourself, or did you read that somewhere?
That's a Bryce Read original I've been thinking about.
Excellent. I love it. That's fantastic. Bryce, what is your favorite piece other than the Patterson Gimlin footage? What is your favorite piece of Bigfoot evidence?
That's a tough call. There's this footage called the Memorial Day footage, because it was shot on a Memorial Day, but it's a Bigfoot in the distance and it's running across like this hilly area.
Oh
and
my
so it kind of
God,
dips up and down, dips up and down.
Yes.
And they tried in this
Write that down.
same video that kind of took a close look at the Patterson Gimlin footage. They got someone who was like a really fast track runner to try and like run, and he kept falling because there were like sharp drops in the terrain and like boulders and things like that. And like he couldn't run as fast as the thing in the picture in the video. And second, he just couldn't do it without like twisting his ankle or falling down. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about that piece of footage for like 3 days because I think that's my favorite piece too. But I didn't know what it was called and I didn't know how to find it. So thank you.
Yeah, I think it's called the Memorial Day footage.
That's
Independence
awesome.
Day.
Yes,
Nope.
there's the Independence Day footage.
That's proof of aliens.
Right. Okay, so we still have some time left. I'm pushing it. Is that okay if we push it a couple minutes? Is that okay?
Hey, I just got here.
I just looked up the most convincing sightings. Yeah. And there's
honey, I've got them all prepared for you, baby. So the Freeman footage is from 1994. Bryce, do you know who Paul Freeman is?
I remember the name, but I forget which video goes with it.
So Paul Freeman was an American Bigfoot hunter. He died in 2003, sadly, but he captured allegedly a Bigfoot on tape near the Blue Mountains region of northeastern Oregon Ben, that is the video in the queue. You want to pull it up?
I sure do.
You can skip past this shit if you can. I think
It's in here. I come back up here today.
For a long time. Hold on. Let me do it.
Here we
For a
go.
long
Here we go.
time. Oh, I messed it up. Did I mess it up?
They look like they're about.
Okay. So he's looking at obviously big
About 9 inches long.
Here. Let me turn this.
No, keep his sound up.
Pretty good little track.
Oh, okay. But we want to fast forward a little bit because he does this for a long time until finally.
So is he basically tracking this thing, like with?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, he's following some footprints in Oregon, and then suddenly he comes upon the beach.
Come back up. One back up. Yeah. Look at that. Can't see much up through here. I hear the brush popping and stuff.
There it is.
Oh, there he goes. Jesus.
Well, he does catch up with him again, I think.
Yeah,
Get
this
up
guy's
here
pretty
where I
great.
can see you quick. Get up here. Get a better picture. Where the doggone thing went? It crossed right up there. Yeah. I just wonder. It should be right here somewhere.
We assume because they're so big that they can't be climbing the trees, but nobody's ever looked up.
Yeah.
There's two of them, I guess.
I don't see the second one he's talking about.
Oh. I wonder where they went. Oh, God. Two of them.
I don't remember if he sees it again. Does he see it again?
So, gosh.
I thought he did, but
Up this old trail. I better go back and get somebody.
This poor old guy.
Wes and them.
Yeah, this guy sounds like he's having a heart attack.
All right, let's go back to where he sees it. There it is.
Oh, there he goes.
It's funny, at first, when I first saw this, I was like, dude, if I saw a Bigfoot, I'd be losing my fucking shit. But this was like the 6th or 7th time he claims to have seen a Bigfoot. And he had been tracking it.
Get up here
like,
where I can see me.
that actually kind of makes sense. That he'd be like, oh shit, there it is.
Get up here.
yeah. The only thing that
Get
doesn't make
back.
sense is that he doesn't have like a
Better
better
picture.
camera, you know.
Well, it's 1994.
Oh, this is not okay. Never mind. 94. That is one thing that
camera's pretty good
When
for
it crossed
94.
right up there.
faith in Bigfoot wane is that when I first started falling in love with like, oh, Bigfoot is real. Cameras weren't that great yet, and they weren't on everybody's phone yet.
Right.
And I thought like once we all got our on our phones and like we had better cameras, like we'd prove Bigfoot was real within a few years, and it didn't happen. So that I think that was like a big stake in the heart of my faith.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, definitely.
But maybe that's just when they dip into other dimensions. So
It totally could be. Okay, hold on.
And truly, but let's be honest, like, because I still want to believe, and I think, like, if you think about where they live, like, I was saying to Jess earlier before you were here, Bryce, like, the places where they live, we don't get to very often, and when we do get there, we're noisy when we get there. Like,
That's true.
So if they truly are trying to avoid, like, by a detection by all sort of that is their evolutionary means of survival, then I don't feel like we would see them unless, I do feel like, like, why aren't there more time-lapse cameras just all over? But, like, that's just a shot in the, there's miles and miles of woods that, like, who knows? It's like, putting something out in the ocean and hoping it sees something. It's like,
right.
That's true. That's true. They always bring up the example of the snow leopard. Like, for years and years, they thought the snow leopard was a mythical creature, but the locals would be like, no, there's this white cat that lives in the mountains, and they'd be like, sure, and then, like,
like abolish the Senate,
abolish
the Senate said it's like they probably watched humans wipe out a lot of the other hominids, right? And so they were like, all right, we need to get as far away from those people as possible.
I mean, the Western world was convinced that gorillas didn't exist until like 1902. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, no one had managed to, like, people brought back bones in, like, I think like 1857, someone discovered bones and, like, brought them back to, like, the Western world, like Europe or whatever. But people were like, nah, I don't think so.
Jay Cashin with a great question. What is the plural of Bigfoot? Is it Bigfoots, Big Feet, Sasquatches, Sasquatchi?
Sasquatchopodes?
I've always said Bigfoots.
Bigfoots. Yeah.
Yeah. I've always treated it like moose and moose. You know what I mean?
Oh, like Bigfoot could be multiple.
There's
as well.
3 Bigfoot over there.
Oh, yeah.
I think look at those Bigfoot over there. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I know it's 104. Can we show one more video?
Yeah, please. Let's do one more.
Let's do it. One more video.
One more video.
This is called the Independence Day footage. And
you found it.
No, this is not Memorial Day. This is Independence Day.
Oh.
And this is supposedly a mother picking up a child.
Oh.
And I don't remember what year this is from.
Early 2000s, I think.
He pokes his little head up.
Oh,
so now you see the second head.
Okay, that's creepy.
Yeah, right?
It looks so human.
I know. Very human.
But also moving at a speed where I feel like a human would have trouble. Maybe not.
I love that part. And there's some other really great footage that you got to check out. There's some police dash cam footage that's pretty convincing. You don't really see much except the feet in the video, but it crosses, a rural 2-lane road in 3 strides, which, like, Bryce, what, you're 6'3"? You can't do that.
No, I can't.
No, okay.
He's tried a lot, yeah.
So yeah, pretty fun. Pretty good stuff. So as we could go on. Abolish the Senate, you're right. Skunk ape is in Florida and smells like a skunk, apparently. Although I do believe that one is the orangutan that escaped from the zoo. Bryce, you know what I'm talking about?
It just lives in the Everglades.
So there was an orangutan that escaped from the zoo
during the hurricane, right?
I'm not kidding.
Seriously.
I don't remember how it happened, but one night this old lady, and that was the picture I showed earlier of, like, the ape in the fucking bushes, right? And the red reflecting out of its eyes from the camera.
I've seen that picture. Yeah.
right, she saw shit like like her dog was upset and stuff kept disappearing off her back porch, and then finally she caught a photo of it. And she and her neighbors were reporting like this terrible smell or whatever. Yeah, it's because a fucking wild orangutan is stomping around in like swampy ass Everglades in Florida. But the picture even looks like an orangutan. It does. So I don't know. But that's pretty fun. Bryce, before we go, besides guest starring on the Midnight Creepout, where can people find you?
TikTok. Find me on TikTok. I do like treasure hunting and geocaching videos mostly on there. I'm the Bryce Read on TikTok. And you can also find me on other social media. I'm the Bryce Read on Twitter as well.
And if I am correct, you recently found your 300th geocache?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to like 329 now.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm moving up in the world. I'm one follower away from 1,000 followers on TikTok, which is a big deal because once you get 1,000, you can go live and you can like start monetizing shit. So follow me on TikTok, everybody.
Oh, boy.
I will do that, my friend.
Yeah, you better get on TikTok right now.
I'll start talking about Bigfoot on there too, if that's what you like.
Yes,
is that what you like? Is that what you like?
It is.
Oh, give me that Bigfoot.
So like I said, as advertised, this is a beginner's guide to Bigfoot, right? We have barely scratched the surface. So if you want to check out more shit, you absolutely should. There's a bunch of videos we did not even get to today. I will try to link some of them on the Discord. Ben, when you're not co-hosting this channel or this show, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me sometimes. I'm on a Monday night show called Friends Theft Auto with David Thomas, and I host my own show on Tuesday nights called What's Going On at 9 p.m. It's like a weekly roundtable. We just get fun people and have discussions. Bryce, you should join us sometime for that. That would really be fun.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Great idea.
So yeah, that's at 9 p.m. on Tuesdays, and you can also catch me on all the socials on Twitter. I am Ben. I am is my handle.
Awesome. And you can find me here. Obviously, we do the Midnight Creepout the second and fourth Friday of every month. So you're going to want to make sure that you want to come back on the 24th at midnight. Technically, it's the 25th, but you know what I mean. It's Friday night at midnight. Where we're going to do, obviously another very fun episode that I don't know what it is yet, but you can always.
I got a couple ideas.
Ooh.
Have you done a UFO one yet?
Oh boy. We did I think our very first episode was the Phoenix Lights.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've also done.
We haven't done people who have been abducted. We haven't done abductions.
We haven't. The next UFO one I want to do is the Chicago O'Hare incident. Bryce, do you know about that one?
I don't think so. No.
Oh,
You'll have to watch.
I guess.
Maybe that's what we'll do on the 24th. You'll have to watch. You can also find me on Sundays at 7 p.m. where I host Simly the Jess. I play The Sims 4. Right now we are working our way through the newest expansion pack, Country Livin'. And then every Thursday at 8 p.m., you can catch me and a bunch of other cast members from 2MB Studios on Quarantine Action Wrestling. Oh, boy. Woo. We are coming up. It's the end times, my friends. Our series
We're in the
finale.
end game now.
Yes. Our series finale is just over a month away on October 24th. So, you're going to want to make sure you catch up on all the lore between now and then. Otherwise, you're not gonna know what's going on. You want to rack up as many channel points as possible so you can lose them all at the final pay-per-view.
I'm gonna bet them all.
Yeah, exactly. Bet it on the baby, as Lloyd Legacy Sharp likes to say. And I think that's it. Bryce, stick around after the outro so we can chit-chat a little bit. And friends, countrymen, Bigfoot believers, and the like, we hope that you had fun. We hope you enjoyed yourself. We hope you come back on the 24th, but most of all, say it with me, Ben. We hope
you were creeped
out.